when you have your shoe, especially a signature shoe, it gives you, boosts your confidence a little bit more. When you're out there, it gives you a little bit more swag.
We've got your entire line in front of us. I don't know if you know this, but you're only one of 8 guys in league history that's had more than 10 consecutive signature shoes with a brand.
Wow, that's crazy. Who are the other?
Oh, you put me on the spot. So we got
Who got M?
MJ,
Yeah.
Kobe, LeBron,
Damn.
Melo, CP,
You ain't gotta say no more.
AI, and KD, and then you.
Wow, that's unreal, bro. Especially with a brand like this, I never would have thought this would happen.
And so let's just start from the beginning. When you were coming into the league, 2008, what was that process like, just signing with Adidas out the gate?
You know, I always was a Nike kid when I was younger. Then I went to Memphis and there was an Adidas school, and I actually signed to them, committed to them before I even knew that they were Adidas school. I was committing to Cal, basically, signing my life over to Cal, my soul and everything. So when I went there, I was kind of shocked. But the year that we had, like I felt like everything was right. Then afterwards, I negotiated with Nike and Adidas, and Adidas were the ones to like take it a step further and give me more within my deal. And how can you turn that down? So it was great. The way that we started was great.
And basically coming out the gate, obviously, youngest MVP ever, and the D Rose one is, I think, your 3rd season.
Yeah, my 3rd.
What was it like just getting your first signature shoe, and what do you remember about that first one?
For one, it being patent leather, like, come on, bro. The first thing I thought of was MJ, of course, just thinking about patent leather shoe. And I was just hoping to, like, just play well in it. You know, when you come out, when you're a perfectionist and you're young and you're playing in your hometown, like, your shoe is one thing, but you want to do as well as possible while you're out there. And thank God everything went hand to hand.
What was it like stepping on the floor? I mean, having a signature shoe in the league is rare. Did you feel different out there? Like, what was it like with your own signature on
Of course, of course, bro. When you have your shoe, especially a signature shoe, it gives you, boosts your confidence a little bit more. When you're out there, it gives you a little bit more swag. And back then, I just couldn't believe it. You know, I was one of a few guys that, for one, I didn't know I was going to get drafted that high. The tournament made me go #1 when I played in the tournament, and like just having a signature shoe, it was like, all right, I made it.
And not only did you have a signature shoe, you also had a .5 portion of the series too. And so the 1.5, you basically debuted at LA All-Star.
Yeah.
What was it like just being on that stage in the All-Star game?
It was good. I mean, breathtaking. It was just breathtaking. I remember when my agent called me and told me that I had a chance. I just thought about just my past. Like, when you're younger, you don't think about this, like things like this, like your shoe. I mean, I didn't. Like a shoe deal, like it's different now. Kids thinking about that now. You have a brand now, but when coming into the league, I just wanted to prove to people that I could play. Like I said, I made it I became #1 through the tournament. So it's like, all right, because of the tournament, I got people to watch me now. When I get to the league, I hope they keep watching me, because going through high school, all I was hearing about was OJ and Michael Beasley. So I was always under them guys.
And then when you get into the 2, I mean, this shoe kind of, for me at least, kind of elevated things. There was like some Y3 inspiration. What were some of the things you were looking for in terms of just how the style came together? Just
a nice shoe. You see, this shoe is different than the other 2. I wanted, when I got to this shoe, I wanted something I could wear off the floor, because I was preaching and harping on them when I first signed that I didn't want kids to buy, like, 2 separate shoes. It was okay to have one shoe, and that shoe you could play on the court and walk around with, because a lot of kids couldn't afford it. I know I couldn't afford 2 pairs of shoes when I was younger, so I just wanted a fashionable shoe and a shoe that's durable on the court.
And then when we got to the 2.5, this was Orlando All-Star.
Yeah.
And you wore the crazy, like, all orange one, I think.
Yeah, you could feel that it's lighter than
it was much lighter.
Yeah.
But I think the thing for me when you think of Orlando All-Star is not so much the game, but that was when you locked in the extension, right?
Yeah, and of course, extension that changed my life. But with this shoe, going from that one to here, I wanted a higher shoe and a lighter shoe, and that's what they did. They came up with this concept, the Sprint Web.
Yep. And as you got into just the first couple, what was it like just being involved in the process? Like, what were some of the things you were picking up along the way in terms of giving your input?
Just the process of a shoe. I didn't know a shoe took a year or 2 years to make. The team, I didn't know it was a team that actually put a shoe together. Like, I was just a novice to all of it, you know. So just being around it, learning the business, understanding the business, and actually getting my input along the way. Like you can see in the first version, kind of just went with it, you know what I mean? Like Adidas, then towards the end, my signature side came out more, where you look at this side, you see 3 stripes. Don't get me wrong. You get what I'm saying,
Yeah,
though?
of course.
Like Adidas, then over here, it's like, damn, the evolution of it, where it's like, damn, you got your own little signature line there, you know?
And the 3 was kind of really what kind of wrapped all
And that
up for
was
you
the
because
start,
it was the first
my
one with
mom,
the logo.
yeah. And with my mom, like I just remember this press conference. My mom and family came out, and like my mom, like going crazy, like just not. She wasn't all that. It was over a shoe and not a basketball game. Like all the publicity and all the shine was over a shoe. She came to the press conference just like shy and just didn't want to be in the cameras like way, because she felt like it was my day, and I was just thankful that like I did everything back in Chicago and she was there.
Because I remember, I was in the second row then, and it was an emotional, like kind of heavy moment for you. But you had the logo, but then you also had the Brenda colorway.
Yeah.
So what was it like just kind of having a color for her, and how excited was she?
I'm just thankful for it. You know, like my mom, she's not into sports like that, so it's kind of cool to see like me being a parent now, like damn, what sport I'm gonna get into because of my kids. You know, like my mom, she didn't know basketball before. Like my brothers didn't play, but she really didn't go to their games. So when I picked it up, of course, she's obsessed with me. So she started learning the sport. My brothers don't get mad about her because of how she treats me, but I'm the baby. So the thought of like all this coming together, like that's something that my family never thought of. The access that we have to the city, like it's unreal, and the love that we get is unreal. So like this whole process of actually having shoes and actually being in the league and handling myself the right way, it's all new.
And then once we got into kind of the 3.5 and 4, like how did you kind of see the line taking shape?
We started to get freaky with this one. Started to get freaky with it. We wanted a little bit more style with it, and I think that's what we went for. I love the shoe, as a matter of fact. I haven't played it in a while, but I loved it.
And then this one kind of had the split, basically.
Yeah,
and I know
like 2 personalities.
Yeah, I remember that was kind of
sides.
the 2 sides of you. Like, how were you coming into your own just as a person as well, and how did that shoe kind of speak to it?
You know, at that time, I was, you know, quiet on the court, but I played aggressive. The way I play is with a lot of aggression. And they came up with the concept of, hey, you have these 2 sides to you. We don't know if you know, but it seemed like when you're off the court, you're like, you're humble, you're quiet, but when you're on the court, you're kind of assassin. And they wanted to put both of those personalities into a shoe. And I think this was the first shoe that we really got funky with the colors.
Yeah, there was like the Fresh Prince one,
Fresh
and
Prince,
a
we
bunch,
got
the
funky
salmon
with the
one.
colors, yeah.
And I know once you got to the 5, like it was more about kind of sprinkling in some different details. The one that always stuck out to me was Everybody Eats.
Yeah.
What were some of the details on this shoe that kind of spoke to kind of the group around you?
First off, to throw, I got to brag. The first shoe with Boost.
Yep.
Basketball shoe with Boost, with Adidas. Got my son name in the front. Got Everybody Eats on the bottom. That's something that me and my friends, just a slogan that me and my friends believe in. Just everybody's on the same, nobody's bigger than the other, and everybody looking after each other. And I just remember the back, the D Rose on the back, like that. It's like the Batman sign. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're on the court, it flicks. But the only thing that was wrong with this shoe, compared to all my shoes that I'm wearing now, the Boost made it a little bit too heavy.
Yep. And so once you guys went from 5 to the 6, which we don't
6
have.
we don't have. Yeah, but the
To the
6
7.
had the Batman too.
Yep.
Like that, the
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once we got into the 7, like what were you looking for there? And I think that was the model you wore in New York. So what was it like just obviously taking that big shift away from Chicago?
No, I love this shoe, playing in this shoe in New York. A lot of people in the league still playing this shoe. What's the big boy?
Steven Adams, right? Yeah.
Steven Adams from OKC. He loves the shoe. And in New York, I love playing in it. I love playing in this shoe. And like I said, I love like high top, mid top pair of shoes.
And then once you got to the 8, I mean, what were some of the biggest things you were looking for on that model? And go ahead.
With this one, it was just a clean shoe. I just wanted a clean shoe. They already had the model out, and it was like I couldn't change anything. So by this time, I was just looking for a clean shoe. And around this stage in my life, I was trying to figure out a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like basketball wasn't like number one. Like I was trying to figure out who I was as a man, as a person, what type of player I was going to become. Well, it was a lot of things I was learning at the time, so my focus wasn't solely on basketball.
Because that was basically when you landed in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then you
exactly
you
jumping
kind of
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were some of the ways that you kind of powered through and came out of that situation better?
I would have to say with patience, like having patience or learning how to like be mindful of like when I kind of like catch myself going into that dark place or slipping into that dark place, being mindful to like catch myself before I get there. You know, back then I'll just get there, or you in that dark spot and you're stuck and you're just trying to live there. And I was stubborn, so I was handling everything myself. And right when I matured and got out of it, I started being vocal and started expressing how I felt, not only to my family, but to my friends, my loved ones that was around me. And it was kind of like a door, but right when I unlocked that door, I was good.
That's great. And I know, of course, with the 9, you landed in Minnesota with Tibbs, back with Tibbs.
Yeah.
And that color in particular, I know has a lot of meaning for you. What was it like on that Halloween night?
For one, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. It may sound crazy.
What's the most ridiculous costume you wore?
Most ridiculous?
Or your favorite one?
I would say the most bogus costume my mom ever put on me was the sheet and the holes in the sheet, and you the ghost, like a little ghost. Like
that's doing what you can with what you got,
yeah,
you know?
But when you got a whole sheet on, you can't walk. Like I'm outside tripping over myself. It was bad, but Halloween, I just knew it was a special night. Jimmy wasn't playing, and I just felt like we only had like 9 or 10 guys in the rotation. It felt like a JV game, and I'm built for them type of moments, like being the underdog and just trying to get the team amped and spark them up. So it was a great night. I knew something special was gonna happen that night.
And at what point in the game were you just like back in that zone where you felt like everything was going your way?
I mean, I didn't feel that way until the end. It was a close game until the end. I just didn't want to lose the game. That was my thing. Like to score 30, you can score 20 points, you can score 60 points. If you lose, the points was unnecessary. Like you could, all right, good night with that 60. We won though, so you just scored 60 points for no reason.
A huge victory for this team, and it comes from you and your career high 50 points. What does it mean to you, Derrick?
Man, everything, man. I worked my ass off, bro. I wouldn't have did this for the franchise, the organization, the fans, everybody, man. I wouldn't be able to play the way I play, man.
And then, like we mentioned, it's extremely rare air to be one of the few guys that has 10 models. So just on the very last one for you, what was it kind of like designing that shoe? And I know that shoe really has elements of the whole line.
The whole line, yeah. I mean, for one, I wanted to try something different. You see kids now, everybody's playing in low tops, like real lows, not like the Kobe lows, but mine's is kind of low. I just wanted to try that, try the bounce. We got the bounce in it. We went away from the boost. We started with bounce. Like with bounce, you could design them, you could define things a little bit more, do more to the sole, just like with all the running shoes. And look at all these soles, like most of them are kind of like basic plain, but with the bounce, you can kind of do more to the back and do more to it, so.
And I know the other exciting thing is you're not just stopping at 10, the line's going to continue to go. So.
Yeah, I seen my 11.
And so what's just the excitement for you ahead with Adidas as you start to continue this journey?
You know, just building a partnership. Like I said, I never would have thought, like having my injury, like my 3rd or 4th year, and like fighting through all that to get to year 12. Like most guys in my position, or if I would have came back too early, I probably would have got to only year 6. Or if I didn't take the year off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I didn't listen to myself, my career would have been a lot shorter and my story would have been different. So me having patience, believing in myself, and being a professional about everything. So I think it helped me in a way where I still have my partnerships and we're growing. And I mean, I love working with Adidas, and I know it's vice versa.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.